Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about impersonation. Impersonation occurs when an attacker pretends to be someone they're not. They do this to gain unauthorized access to systems, extract information, or to trick individuals into taking any action that compromises security in some way. Impersonation is a pretty generic term covering a wide range of social engineering attacks. These attacks can take many forms, each with their own methods and objectives. But before we look at some of the different types of impersonation attacks, let's look at why they happen. There are many reasons why an attacker may want to use impersonation. Often this is done to extract sensitive information, gain access to a system or a location, or trick a user into taking some sort of action. And often the victim doesn't even know it's happening to them. Now, the goal of the attackers or the impersonator can vary, but generally speaking is going to be things like these. Login credentials. These things are like gold dust to attackers. They gather usernames and passwords to gain unauthorized access to accounts or to systems. Personally identifiable information, known as PII. This includes sensitive data such as national insurance or social security numbers, dates of birth, home addresses, telephone numbers, and more. Financial data. Attackers may target credit card numbers, bank account details, and other financial information to commit fraud. Confidential business information. In targeted attacks against organizations, attackers may attempt to steal proprietary information or trade secrets for financial gain, or maybe even to get a competitive edge. Physical access. Now, in some cases, an attacker may want physical access to a building or to equipment in order to carry out their attacks. This could be planting malicious devices or even stealing the physical property. So now we have a general idea about what the attackers are looking to gain from impersonation. Let's have a look at a few of the different ways they can achieve it. First, one I'm sure you're familiar with: phishing. Phishing is where attackers send out emails pretending to be from someone they're not. And they do this in order to get the user to take some sort of action. This could be clicking on a malicious link, opening a malicious attachment, transferring funds, or really any other type of action that the attacker wants. Phone scams. Just like email scams, phone scams are very common. Have you ever been phoned by Microsoft to tell you that a virus has infected your computer?
I'm calling you from the headquarters of Microsoft Corporation. We are located Redmond City, Washington, D.C., United States.
Or maybe the bank saying there has been some strange activity.
This is called Connect. It's a Lloyd's bank. You right? Ma'am, is a one suspicious charge on your Visa debit card that you without knowledge and without authorization. I'm telling you, ma'am.
These are all scams where the attacker pretends to be someone trusted in order to trick the victim. Next, we have social media. Social media is a very easy place for attackers to pretend to be someone that they're not. All it takes is a quick profile, a stolen or AI generated picture, and in just a few minutes, a full social entity is created. Some even pretend to be real people, and then they message their friends and their family saying something like, "This is my new account, delete my old one because it got hacked." And then they usually ask for money. Physical impersonation. Impersonation isn't restricted to just the cyber world. An attacker may take the old school approach. They may use a physical disguise to gain unauthorized access to places like office buildings, server rooms, or any other type of restricted locations. Sometimes, all it takes is a simple high-vis jacket and a clipboard. Yes, I'm here to carry out your annual safety inspection. You'd be surprised at just how many people are willing to help an official-looking person. Identity theft. Sometimes they're not pretending to be someone else in order to trick you. Sometimes they're actually pretending to be you. By impersonating you and stealing your identity, the attackers can take out loans, apply for credit cards, rent cars, and the list goes on. This, of course, can have huge financial disruption to the victim's life. This video is part of our Security Plus in 31 Days course. If you like this video, you are gonna love the full course. Not only does it cover each exam topic in simple and easy to understand videos, but it also provides hands-on labs. These labs guide you through practical tasks like creating Trojans, cracking passwords, and sending your own phishing emails, giving you real-world experience and making your studies that much more engaging and effective. It doesn't stop there though. You also get a copy of our Security Plus in 31 Days ebook, which follows the course and covers each topic. You'll also get access to helpful downloads to support your learning, a private community where you can connect with fellow learners, and exclusive discounts. It really is the complete package to guide you through your Security Plus journey. Check it out in the description below. So, as mentioned before, impersonation is a pretty generic term, and these attacks come in many different forms. We're going to cover a lot of these attacks and these methods in more detail throughout this section. Let's end this video with a couple of quiz questions. First question, what is the primary goal of an impersonation attack? Is it A, to encrypt files for a ransom, B, to install malicious software onto a device, C, to trick individuals into revealing sensitive information or taking harmful actions, or D, to disrupt network traffic? The answer, of course, is C, to trick individuals into revealing sensitive information or taking harmful actions. Impersonation attacks typically aim to manipulate trust, convincing the victim to share sensitive data or take actions that compromise security, such as clicking malicious links or disclosing credentials. Okay, last question. Imagine this scenario. An attacker walks into an office building wearing a high-vis jacket and carrying a clipboard. They claim to be there for a routine inspection and are granted access to restricted areas. What is the most likely objective of this type of impersonation attack? Is it A, to plant malicious hardware or software, B, to gather login credentials, C, to conduct identity theft, or D, to steal financial information? The answer is A, to plant malicious hardware or software. In this scenario, the attacker gains access to a restricted area. This is likely to conduct a physical attack, like installing keyloggers or network sniffers to compromise the target system. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. The support from you guys really does help this channel grow. Other than that, thank you for watching.